This is not good, guys.
We get out of here. Which way?
Caves have long been both frightening and enchanting to man. Down their winding passages and piercing silence lies the fear of the unseen and the temptation of the known. From the remains of forgotten civilizations to the eerie creatures hiding in the shadows of these caves, these discoveries are not for the faint of heart. Let's dive into the depths of these caves and examine the most harrowing and unsettling discoveries made to date. Number 1. Hellfire Caves. Deep beneath the quaint villages of Buckinghamshire, UK, lies a network of caves shrouded in mystery, the Hellfire Caves. Built by Sir Francis Dashwood in the 18th century, these underground passages were once the secretive meeting grounds of the renowned Hellfire Club. Who were these Hellfire Club members, and what exactly happened down there? No one knows with certainty. Different ghostly encounters have been linked to the Hellfire Caves. However, none of them is as haunting as the White Lady's. According to the story, the White Lady was a maidservant who fell in love with one of the Hellfire Club members. Tragically, she died within the caves, and her restless spirit is believed to still be in the tunnels, forever searching for her lost love. Visitors claim to have witnessed the White Lady firsthand, some even reporting whispers and sudden chills. One particular story comes from a visitor who dared to go into the caves alone at night. He described coming face to face with the ghost of the White Lady, who whispered, "Why did you betray me?" before disappearing into the darkness. This experience left him convinced that he had seen the White Lady. Would you dare to enter the caves and potentially encounter the White Lady? Or is this spooky adventure best left to the brave? Number 2. Lovelock Cave. Up next is the Lovelock Cave in Nevada, which has a morbid and fascinating history. The cave became popular in the early 20th century when miners searching for guano discovered a treasure trove of archaeological remains. And what do I mean by that? They found mummified remains in these explorations, leading to theories and legends about the cave's former inhabitants. And that's not all. One of Lovelock Cave's most captivating yet terrifying aspects is the Paiute legend of red-haired giants. According to the Paiute people, these giants, known as the Siteka, were hostile and cannibalistic. The legend tells of a long-lost conflict between the Paiutes and these giants, eventually becoming a dramatic and fiery end. The Paiutes reportedly trapped the giants inside the cave, setting a fire at its entrance to ensure their extinction. Artifacts found in Lovelock Cave, including baskets, weapons, and tools, offer a look into the lives of those who once sought refuge there. The cave remains a tremendous archaeological and mythological site even today, and who knows, if they dug deeper, they might have found an entire civilization still living there. Number 3. The Underworld God. Imagine working hundreds of feet underground, surrounded by glittering veins of silver, but also the constant threat of cave-ins and toxic fumes. That's the reality for the Potosi miners. These mines are legendary for their silver riches, but also notorious for the harsh conditions the miners endure every day. The air is thick with dust, and danger hangs heavy in the atmosphere. Stories of accidents and illness are all too common, but the miners have a guardian angel of sorts, El Tio, the Lord of the Underworld. Statues of El Tio, often adorned with offerings of cigarettes, coca leaves, and alcohol, surround the mine's tunnels. The miners believe these offerings will please El Tio and ensure the miners' safety while working around the dangerous underground labyrinth. Would you risk your life working in such a place to provide for your family? Number 4. 175,000-year-old underground circles. In February 1990, a 15-year-old boy and his dad stumbled upon a hidden world. An ancient rock slide had sealed the cave for hundreds of thousands of years, but the father noticed a faint wisp of air coming through the debris. After 3 years of determined digging, that's some serious dedication though, they finally cracked the code, or rather, the cave entrance. The teenager and a local caving club made their way inside. What they encountered deep within the cave was something extraordinary. Several deliberately broken stalagmites. But wait, it gets even weirder. These 400 pieces were arranged into 2 distinct rings. What could they possibly mean? The larger ring was about 4 to 7 meters across, and the smaller one was around 2 meters wide, with other pieces propped against these formations. Inside the rings, they found traces of fire and burnt bones. This was clearly no accident. So who could have built these mysterious structures? Animals? Well, no. Archaeologists later revealed a mind-blowing truth. The stalagmites were arranged a staggering 176,500 years ago. That means it couldn't have been the work of Homo sapiens. The only early humans in southern France at that time were Neanderthals. This discovery suggests Neanderthals, our closest hominid cousins, weren't just simple-minded brutes, but technically skilled individuals. Researchers believe Neanderthals broke the stalagmites and arranged them precisely. So what do you think? Did Neanderthals have hidden talents? Number 5. The Altamura Man. In 1993, a group of cave explorers made a startling discovery in southern Italy, a human skull covered with a thick layer of calcite formations. The remains were found in a spooky place called a karst borehole, basically a sinkhole where water carves out the earth and creates mesmerizing formations. Nearly 30 years later, scientists still haven't been able to excavate this skull called Altamura Man. Why not? Because any attempt to dig him out might destroy the skull and the calcite formations around it. It's a real Sophie's choice for archaeologists. Researchers can now only theorize about Altamura Man's fate. The most likely story? He probably fell into a natural well long ago, with no one around to save him. All that's visible today is his head and part of a shoulder, a silent testament to his lonely demise. So, what do you think happened to Altamura Man? Was he the victim of a tragic accident, or is there another story to be told? Number 6. The Girl in the Cave. What's the craziest thing you could find while exploring a dark cave? For YouTuber Josh, it wasn't just creepy crawlies or sparkly crystals. During one of these explorations, Josh made a shocking discovery that turned his usual adventure into a rescue mission. As Josh and his team went deeper into the cave, their flashlights revealed something unexpected. A young girl huddled in a dark corner, alone and frightened. She had been missing for days, and her disappearance was a mystery to her family and the local authorities. Josh's heart raced as he approached her, speaking gently to reassure her. His team, thinking fast, contacted emergency services while keeping the girl safe. The rescue became a tense race against time, demanding careful planning and quick action. Every step back through the dark, twisting tunnels felt heavy with suspense. Finally, they emerged into the daylight. The relief must have been epic. The girl was reunited with her tearful family, and Josh had captured a story far more profound than any exploration video. Number 7. The Bone Theater. Imagine walking through a dark maze filled with millions of bones. That's the Paris catacombs. It's creepy enough, but some explorers take it to a new level. Apparently, the graveyards in Paris got filled and the government had to work something out. So they decided to take out all the old skeletons from their graves and arrange them in elaborate designs in the catacombs under the city. The place is actually open for visitors, and people love going in there. In fact, there have even been reports of people making hideouts in the catacombs. News reports mentioned furniture, entertainment areas, and a basic kitchen setup. They reportedly installed a complex electrical system and multiple phone lines for amenities. This discovery sparked many questions. How many people were involved? How long did it take to create? One thing's for sure, even historic sites need protection. Number 8. 17 miniature coffins. The stories about Arthur's seat in Edinburgh will make your head swim. Legends say King Arthur himself once sat there, and it was even an ancient Celtic village way back then. But the weirdest tale? It happened in 1836, and it's still a head-scratcher. Around that time, a group of boys out looking for rabbit warrens came across something bizarre. Hidden between a few thin slabs of slate on the northeast side of the hill were 17 tiny coffins. They had been laid there untouched for who knows how long, and no one has a clue who put them there. Early reports said the coffins were arranged in 3 categories: 2 lower rows with 8 coffins each and 1 row on top. Each coffin, made of wood and about 95 millimeters long, contained wooden figures dressed in custom-made clothes, which were carefully stitched and glued like little dolls. Today, 8 of those 17 coffins have survived and are displayed at the National Museum of Scotland. Researchers and pundits alike were desperate to figure out what they were for when they were first discovered. The leading theory at the time was that they symbolized honorific burials, but no one knew who they were meant to honor. Despite the theories, the mystery of the 17 miniature coffins at Arthur's seat, who made them, why they were made, and what they truly represent, continues to be a mystery to everyone who hears the story. Number 9. The Hobbits. Deep within a cave on the Indonesian island of Flores, a team of archaeologists made a dramatic discovery in 2003. Human remains unlike any ever encountered. These bones belong to adults who stood only about 3.5 feet tall, earning them the nickname Hobbits. This discovery took the scientific world by surprise, as these tiny humans, known as Homo floresiensis, were much smaller than any previously known human species, even shorter than the smallest African pygmies by an entire foot. Initially, many thought these skeletons were from individuals with a growth disorder. However, recent studies suggest otherwise. These hobbits were healthy, upright, and intelligent, significantly shorter than modern humans. The existence of Homo floresiensis challenges our long-held views on human evolution. This species is a total anomaly, raising a ton of questions for scientists. As we delve deeper into this hobbit mystery, we can't help but wonder, what other remarkable secrets about our ancient ancestors are still hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered? Number 10. A crystallized human sacrifice. Aktun Tunicil Muknal, a prominent archaeological site, has found numerous Mayan artifacts, but its most important yet controversial discovery is suggested by its name, the Cave of the Crystal Sepulchre. This wasn't just a storage locker for old pottery. The cave was a place of ritual sacrifice, with skeletons found among ceremonial artifacts and decorations, some even lying on altars. These remains, ranging from ages 1 to around 40, bear signs of skull shaping and were all victims of human sacrifice. The findings are the fully calcified skeleton of a 17-year-old boy, initially thought to be female, known as the Crystal Maiden. The crushed vertebrae in his spine hint at a brutal end. He might have suffered a slow and agonizing death. Calcium crystals have covered his bones, making him resemble the world's sad snow sculpture. The Crystal Maiden's eternal slumber offers a haunting glimpse into the Mayan practice of sacrifice. But why sacrifice? And what respect did they hold for these victims? The answers lie within the secrets of this spooky cave. Number 11. The Catskill Crone. You would not think a random Reddit post about a creepy statue could turn into such a spooky saga, but that is precisely what happened with the Crone of the Catskills. It all started when a couple of adventurous hikers explored caves in New York's Catskill Mountains in 2016. Imagine stumbling upon a small wooden statue of a woman with a noose around her neck and nails hammered into her eyes. Talk about unsettling. One of the hikers felt bad about taking it, but the other shrugged it off and brought the cursed thing home anyway. Big mistake. According to the original Reddit thread, things got seriously weird once this statue made itself comfy in their friend's place. It started moving around on its own, freaking the guy out so much he couldn't sleep because of strange banging noises in the night. And it gets even spookier. Someone would knock on his door, but when he'd open it, no one would be there. Cue the chills, right? After enough paranormal events, they decided enough and donated the statue to a rather dark museum. Now you will think that would be the end of it, but nope. The Crone of the Catskills keeps its mystique alive even now, chilling museum visitors with its eerie presence and sparking theories about its origins and the strange events it's been linked to. So next time you are hiking in the Catskills, stick to enjoying the scenery and leave any creepy statues you find right where they are. You never know what kind of haunted adventures you might be signing up for. Number 12. A 100-year-old axe murderer. Joseph Henry Loveless was a real-life outlaw straight out of the Wild West era. Back in 1916, he landed himself in jail on suspicion of axe murdering his wife, Agnes. Pretty tragic, right? But here is where it gets wild. Loveless managed to escape using a saw blade hidden in his shoe. Like a scene out of an old Western movie, he disappeared without a trace. Fast forward to 1979, and a family exploring Buffalo Cave in Idaho stumbled upon a grisly find, a headless torso rotting away in a burlap sack. 12 years later, they find a matching hand, and that sets off a search that uncovers the rest of the poor guy, legs and an arm included. It took until 1998, over 100 years after Loveless went missing, for DNA testing to confirm those were indeed his remains. Turns out, the guy met a pretty gruesome end. Some folks think maybe Agnes's family tracked him down for payback, but the details are still hazy. Joseph Henry Loveless was an escaped convict who became a cruel mystery. That's all we know up till. However, his story is a reminder reminder that the past has a way of coming back to haunt us in the strangest of ways. Number 13. A new Dead Sea Scroll. Now let's talk about Israel's Cave of Horror. Back in the 1960s, it gained its reputation when the remains of 40 Jews, likely victims of Roman soldiers in the 2nd century, were unearthed there. Fast forward to 2021, and researchers returned to this historic site. What did they uncover this time? More fragments of the Dead Sea Scrolls, suspiciously hidden alongside the mummified remains of a young girl who lived an astonishing 6,000 years ago. But it's not just about finding ancient texts or skeletons, it's about connecting the dots of humanity's past, revealing glimpses of lives long forgotten. The Dead Sea Scrolls continue to captivate us not only for their religious significance, but also for the broader narrative they contribute to our understanding of history. Who knows what other secrets these ancient caves are hiding? Number 14. The Skull Cups. Lastly, we have the Goose Cave in Somerset, England, which is a place with a mix of ancient legends and darker discoveries. First off, it's home to Cheddar Man, the oldest complete human skeleton found in Great Britain. Pretty impressive, right? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Here's where it gets a bit eerie. Among the ancient remains found in these caverns are human skulls that were turned into drinking cups. Yes, you heard that right. Skull cups. Imagine finding bones with cut marks, suggesting cannibalism, a practice surprisingly common back then. What is even more unsettling is that fragments from as many as 7 skulls have been discovered, each one carefully fashioned into a drinking vessel, and some of these individuals were even children. Tragically, what do you think? What dark rituals were taking place in Goose Cave? Number 15. The Klerksdorp spheres. Deep beneath the dusty plains of South Africa, among the dark veins of mineral deposits, lie the Klerksdorp spheres. These terrifyingly perfect spheres, some as smooth as marbles, others mottled and mysterious, have an origin story dating back a staggering 3 billion years. Unlike most geological wonders, the Klerksdorp spheres were not bathed in the light of discovery by people venturing inside a cave. Instead, they were found by miners clawing their way through the Wonderstone mines near Ottosdal. Geologists say these spheres are concretions formed by minerals patiently layering themselves over time. But for some, the near-perfect spheres hold a more profound mystery. Are they whispers of a forgotten civilization, messages from the ancient past, or perhaps something stranger? The true story of the Klerksdorp spheres lies somewhere between science and shadow. So next time you see a perfectly round object, take a moment to wonder, is it a mere play of nature or something more? Number 16. 100,000 years old Neanderthal. Imagine squeezing through a tight, oppressive passage deep underground, and then catching a glimpse of a massive bleached white skull in your headlamp's flicker. It's a Neanderthal, a human ancestor who vanished over 100,000 years ago. Their world was harsh, filled with giant predators and unforgiving ice ages. They were tough, stocky people who built tools and lived in tight-knit groups. In 2021, in Italy's Guattari Cave, experts found the remains of 9 Neanderthals. The skulls and bones of these older humans gave them a chance to study how exactly life started in Italy. They also got to study the reason behind their extinction. They also found skull fragments and teeth fossils among everything they found there. One of these skulls is estimated to be about 100,000 years old, while the other 8 are believed to be about 50 to 68,000 years old. That's literally a treasure for experts to study from. Number 17. The longest submerged cave in the world. Deep within the crystal-clear waters of Mexico's Sistema-Sac-Actun cave system lies the aptly named Birdcage Cave. This section, renowned for its breathtaking underwater beauty, is a playground for technical divers venturing into a world hidden from sunlight. Delicate flowstone formations, sculpted by water over millennia, create a mesmerizing spectacle. The intricate network of passageways and chambers might evoke a sense of being trapped within a giant ethereal birdcage, perhaps the inspiration for the nickname. As light falls on the cave walls, you'll witness the unique ecosystem that thrives in this environment. But mind you, this is no ordinary dive. Reaching these depths requires specialized training and equipment. The length, depth, and potential dangers necessitate a team of experienced technical divers. What do you think, the formations truly resemble a birdcage, or is there a deeper meaning? Number 18. Ancient bones. In China's Fengjie region, a network of caves hides a chilling secret. Explorers going into the darkness have unearthed a boneyard unlike any other. Imagine the silence shattered only by your ragged breath as you stumble upon a massive leg or a perfectly preserved skull, unlike anything you have seen in a museum. These aren't dinosaur bones, though they are ancient. Many locals believe that this sinkhole-like cave was being used as a graveyard by the ancient people. But the question is, the place isn't easy to reach. Then how on earth did they reach there, especially when they had bones and stuff with them? Could this be a sign that the ancient people were in fact giants, and it was no problem for them to get there? Fengji's caves contain more than fossils. They are a tangible echo of the prehistoric past. Number 19. Lost Civilization. Located in the heart of Zhejiang Province, China, the Longyou Caves defy explanation. These are not natural caves. They are smooth chambers with mysterious symbols etched on the walls. The air feels thick and still, like it's been holding its breath for centuries. The Longyou Caves are a complex of 24 man-made caverns carved from sandstone. Their exact age is unknown, although there is a mention of them in a 17th century poem. Clay pots found within the caves have been dated to between 206 BC and 23 AD, suggesting some human activity around that time period. The caves are remarkable for their size and craftsmanship considering their likely age. The creepiest part? Nobody knows who built them. These caves are older than any known civilization in China. It's like finding a giant empty apartment building in nowhere. Who lived here? Why did they leave? The silence in the caves is deafening, filled with unanswered questions. Perhaps the caves served a dual purpose, combining practical functionality with a deeper cultural or religious significance. Were they a place of work, worship, or even refuge? Number 20. Mammoths. Siberia is a land of endless ice, and something stirs deep beneath the frozen ground. Not a living thing, but a perfectly preserved woolly mammoth, frozen solid for 39,000 years. This remarkable find was unearthed in 2010 by tusk hunters. Nicknamed Yucca, this mammoth is like a time capsule waiting to be cracked open. The Yucca mammoth, named after the nearby village of Yucca, is the best preserved woolly mammoth carcass ever discovered. It's a window to the Ice Age, a chance to see a real-life mammoth up close. Unlike most fossils, the Yucca mammoth isn't just bones. This mummified creature boasts preserved flesh, fur, and even internal organs. Scientists have been able to analyze her diet, estimate her age, around 6-9 years old, and even theorize about the cause of death, possibly drowning or getting stuck in mud. So what other secrets might the permafrost hold? And that was it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get all our videos on time. Until next time,